Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing my summer reading wrap-up. This video is going to be everything I read outside of readathons, so I will link my June reading wrap-up down below in the description, as well as my Mermaid Marathon reading wrap-up, which is going to be the majority of everything I read in July. I only read 4 books outside of readathons for July and August, so this is going to be nice and short and sweet, but I wanted to get these in before we switch over into fall and spooky season, as I am pretty much a seasonal reader. So we normally go in order of star ratings, but all of these are pretty close together. So we're going to start with When Villains Rise. So I've been reading this series since last fall. This is by Rebecca Schaefer. This is a YA spooky trilogy. This one has a little bit more of like those Dexter murder dissection vibes, but with monsters. This is the Market of Monsters series. I did the first 2 physically, and then I did this last one on audio. I do think I preferred reading them physically. The narrator was okay, but I didn't love her. I think I enjoyed reading them more physically, but I had been in the series for so long because I'm physically reading so slowly that I wanted to just kind of wrap it up. We are in this world where monsters exist. Most of them look like humans, and we've kind of had to adjust as society to having these different kinds of monsters. There's this whole like black market to hide monsters and to buy their body parts, and Nita and her mother are a part of that. So her mother will bring her dead monsters and she will dissect them for their parts, and they sell them on this like black market, dark eBay type thing, because when you consume certain monsters' body parts, it gives you certain abilities or enhances certain things about your body, or it will give you like a drug-like effect, like the bone marrow of one of the monsters works kind of like cocaine and different things like that. Nita has never known anything but this life. She never questions where the monsters come from or whether this is right or wrong. And then one day her mother brings home a teenage boy monster, but he is alive, and she expects Nita to dissect him alive. And then everything changes when she tries to help free him. That's a very loose description. This is filled with monsters and politics and society and relationships. Our characters are very, very morally gray. It is hard to root for them at times because they are doing things that are very dark and upsetting. They have reasons for them, obviously. Definitely feel like villainous characters at times. I really like this series because it's so unique. It's unlike anything I've ever read. I believe they're set in South America, which was really interesting. There's a lot of diversity with the cultures as well as like the different kinds of monsters. It's really interesting to learn about the monsters and what they do. Some of them feed on people's souls and some of them feed on people's pain. There are vampires and things that you're used to, but then a lot of different other ones. There's kind of a friendship romance a little bit, but it's very much a backseat to the rest of the plot. My only qualms is that it is extremely dark and our characters are struggling emotionally and just with the world and how things are through most of the book, so it feels kind of heavy. And then it is very graphic with a lot of fighting and the dissection and like gouging eyes out and things like that. So it's not a light series at all. Especially for YA, I was kind of surprised with how intense some of the scenes got with torture and different things. A really good one for spooky season though. I wish we had talked even more about the monsters. I feel like we kind of veered towards the politics and the relationships between the characters more than the monster side. Like there's a lot of the monster side, but they are constantly trying to like overthrow this government thing. So it almost felt dystopian at times. So I was wanting a little bit more of the world, even though there is quite a decent amount in here. So this one I think was my least favorite. The ending was just okay for me, so I gave it a 3.5, but such a good one for spooky season. I am glad that I read it. I love these covers. They're so fun. 3.5. Then I read The Unwedding by Ali Condi. You guys, I had started and filmed half of a wedding vlog that I was doing while we kind of prepped for my sister's wedding. I was going to read like 3 different wedding books. I was shopping for her present and doing the bachelorette party. But once we got closer to the wedding, things just got chaotic as they normally do. I was getting more stressed with everything that needed to be done with the wedding and then work stuff. And then of course like my hobbies with my YouTube and everything, and I just ran out of time to give it like a proper ending, so I decided to scrap it. Unfortunately, I also only read one and a half wedding books. I'd like to do something like this in the future, maybe when I have a little bit more time and I'm not currently involved in a wedding. But I am glad that I read this one by Ali Condi. So I did this one on audio. This is a murder mystery book. This one is set at a wedding in Big Sur. Our main character is there actually on a vacation. She has recently gotten divorced and she's like doing her, what was supposed to be her anniversary trip by herself. She meets these two people and becomes friends with them, and they kind of get immersed into this wedding that's happening. And then a mudslide comes in and cuts them off from leaving Big Sur, and they lose power, and then someone dies. And so they're trying to solve this murder. This one had a slow beginning. We do dive back into our main character's past a lot because something happened to her that she is a little bit ashamed of, and you're kind of uncovering that as you continue on with this story. She's got a little secret of her own. I wouldn't say this was like a super fun read. There's a little bit of darker topics, a little bit more of a heaviness, a little bit more of a slowness, but I did kind of fall in love with the characters and their relationships. There are some lighter moments. I wouldn't say it's like an overly heavy read. It just didn't feel like super fun as far as murder mysteries go. The next book kind of hits that category more, but I love the setting being in Big Sur, and we do some hiking in here, so this is a good one for hike-a-thon. I really did like the ending overall, so it's sitting at a 3.5, but it is one that I think I will recommend. I do like Ali Condi's writing style for the most part. And yeah, I'm glad that I read it. Next, we did My Salty Mary by Brody Ashton, Jody Meadows, and Cynthia Hand. This is the first one I have read from this trio that does a lot of different humorous YA retellings. This is a mashup of The Little Mermaid with historical elements from Mary Read, who is a famous female pirate, and I've really had a good time with it. This one is so fun. It is so silly. There is so much humor and goofiness in this. It does have a much younger feel, so just keep that in mind. There are a lot of historical elements in here. There are a lot of twisted and wrong historical elements in here. We do talk about some important topics as well that were happening at the time of this book. I want to say around the 17th century. It's very piratey, it's very mermaidy. There's a little romance in here, some friendships, a lot of fun characters. So I had a really good time with this one, and I gave it like a 3.75. And then lastly, I read Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. I read this one because the second book is Every Time I Go to a Wedding, Someone Dies, and I was hoping to read that for my wedding vlog, but we didn't quite get there. But I am really glad I read it because I had such a good time with this one. So again, we have a murder mystery. This one is set, I believe, in the Amalfi Coast, which I recently read The Amalfi Curse, and I absolutely loved it. I'm in this like Amalfi vibe. I need to go and visit. Our main character is an author, and she has written this very popular murder mystery series. What people don't know is the first book was actually based on a real event that happened with her and her ex-boyfriend. She changed everyone else's names except for his in the book, and because of this and because of the popularity, he kind of blackmails her, giving him some of the profits from the book because she used his name, and because he has this mystery thing that they were involved in hanging over her head, she complies and she has to keep writing these books. But her plan for her last book is to kill him off in the book and be done with him. And when she winds up going on this like author tour situation, he kind of shows up and is questioning what's going on with the book, and then he starts having attempts taken at his life, and they're trying to figure out who is attempting to murder him. I really liked the narrator in this one, not just the audio, but the narration of the book, because the author is talking directly to you. There are a lot of like puns and modern references. I think she referenced Taylor Swift like a lot, like more than I thought was necessary, because the book is very humorous, and she'll be like, maybe you shouldn't have trusted this character, but I led you that way. And so she's talking to you. So that's not for everyone, but I actually enjoyed it in this way. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really fun. Really liked the characters. There's a little side romance in here that I really enjoyed. Mysteries that they're trying to solve, and just like misadventures and like a summer vibe. So I had a really good time with it, and I will be reading more from this author. So I gave this one a 4 stars. So that's everything I read this summer outside of the readathons that I have been doing. I hope to amp this up for the fall. Now that the wedding's over and we're like getting into spooky season, my favorite time of the year. Let me know what your summer reading was like, and if you enjoyed the books that you read. Stay tuned for all of the spooky Halloween, fun, pumpkin, cozy videos coming your way very soon, and I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.